One, two, three. We want to welcome everybody to My Minute Talks, where our favorite two people are mom and dad, and we have Hantie. And yes, they've been hungry, folks. They do eat. They do eat. And they eat.
I've already eaten.
There you go, Dad. Dad is right on the money. Dad is always there. So we appreciate everybody here tonight. And tonight today we're gonna talk about something interesting, and that is what makes a good leader. You guys been around long enough, seen a lot of bad ones, but what makes a good leader? Who wants to start off?
I will start off. I would say, first of all, a good leader must have integrity.
No. Yeah.
That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And a good leader must care about the people that are working under him. That's number two.
Mm-hmm.
And a good leader must lead and not follow.
Not follow?
Not follow.
Not follow. You know, we have
a leader. You got to lead, not follow.
Right. We have a lot of, like, for instance, we have a lot of people in school systems that follow what is going on rather than taking the lead and
being a trailblazer.
Right.
Kind of like a visionary. I think that's what he's trying to lead to.
I had a principal that was an excellent leader.
Mm-hmm.
But because he was a good leader, he was only there 2 years.
Yeah. Usually people get jealous of good leaders because it makes them look bad. So jealousy, your peers start because, frankly, they see their inadequacies in them. So they rather tear them down than learn from them. Great point there.
That's after 37 years of teaching.
Mom, Hantie, which one do you want to say? What makes a good leader?
Well, I guess I come from another point of view.
Yeah. It's your point of view. We want
you have to you have to be good on a team.
Yes, team player.
Right. And then go into leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to you need to know how to be a team player.
Mm-hmm.
A fair team player.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, everybody doesn't start out being a leader.
Right.
I'm thinking.
Right. No, not everybody starts. You start. There is a point where you do follow as a leader.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point that I was making. And you can. Everybody needs to grow. And I remember when I went to Ford Credit.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a new branch manager, and it was a lady, and she said, "I'm trainable."
Mm-hmm.
In other words, she was still our leader, but there were things that she may not know that we were accustomed to or
experienced in.
Yes. And she said, I'm trainable. And she said that for like 6 months. And then she stopped saying it. So in other words, she caught on.
Yeah.
As to what would make her a good leader. And I appreciated that. You don't walk in the door knowing everything.
Correct. Yeah, a good leader knows what they're. They don't know everything. That's another thing.
That's my point.
You got more things to learn. Mom, what do you think a good leader is?
The point here is, in order to be a good leader, you have to be a good person to work with other people.
Mm-hmm.
On my job, I worked for the state of Michigan for 34 years. And my main desire was to get along with my coworkers, not only to get along with them, but to also do my job efficiently, to satisfy my boss. And evidently, what I set out to do, I was successful in, because my boss, supervisor, whatever, he says, you really should go into management. And
you would have made a good man, a great manager.
I might have, but again, I did not have the desire to be a manager. I thought, well, you know what? I'd rather be a person behind the scene to make something work really, really well, rather than to be in charge and telling everybody what they should do. And and I just didn't feel comfortable in that position, having that position as a leader. But I certainly was a good person to work with other people.
Very
Sort
good
of
point.
like laying down the trump card.
All right, with that in mind, there, I think, because all these things are I believe in, because I'm saying what a great leader is. I'll add to that, and I learned this. I gotta give a shout out to Mr. Cochran for this one. He says a great leader, a very good leader, does everything they can to make sure the people underneath them can be successful.
Right.
That is so true.
They try to facilitate their success. Bad leaders facilitate their personal success. A great leader, a good leader, facilitates other success.
That's right. And that's one thing that this principal that I worked with, you always saw him in the halls.
Yes.
You always saw him walking around in the classroom. You always saw him, he never did stay in his office. He was up around looking at things and seeing how things go, being very observant. I've had several bad principals, and guess what their main mistake was?
Hide behind their desk, close their office.
They were sitting in their office with their door closed.
This proximity. So, Dad, what you're referring to is, that your boss is present and there for you when you need him.
Right.
They're not micromanaging, they're present.
Correct.
They know what's going on. They don't need a tattletale. I think a lot of bad leaders, they try to use other people. No, I got to make the decision myself from what I see, not from what others see. I got to develop. I got to have a plan, right?
And then one thing this principal, one thing this principal did that I was really impressed with. There was a new program going around in elementary school at that time where you had open classrooms. The first graders and second graders are in their big room, and and this principal said, I want you to go out and see for yourself, is this a good idea or not? Well, when I walked into that classroom, it was so noisy. Third and fourth graders, it was so distracting for them that we got together and unanimously we said, this is not a good idea. This will not work. Well, he stood up for us, and that did cost him his principal job. The very next year, he was back in the classroom.
No, that's that integrity, right, Dad?
That's integrity.
A lot of times people they want you to do the easy thing, not the right thing. As a great leader, good leader, you should always do the right thing regardless of how it looks.
That's right.
Because bad leaders, they don't care how it looks, but people, how do I say this? People don't like the consequences of bad leadership, but they like the effects of it. Bad leaders will always, I could talk to her, I could do this, and well, guess what? You're gonna probably go down in a handbasket real quick. And I think that's why we have the problems we have, because we don't have a lot of great leaders that are willing to have integrity, the things we're talking about here. So, any other parting thoughts here before we close up? Because I think it's a great discussion of leadership. Because, like I said, right now we're just seeing a plethora of bad leaders because of what we just said. They hide in their office. They don't have integrity. They follow what other people are doing. There's no vision there. Without a vision, the people perish. They don't facilitate other people getting better. And, I would like to add this too. I remember reading or seeing somewhere of a great leader. He said, I get people smarter than myself. I can learn from them. If you're the smartest person in the room, something's wrong with your room. You need to go out there, either create smarter people or find them, because that's a bad concoction when you're the only smart one in the room.
Yes, indeed.
That means your room got dumb real quick. And people know me. I do not like to, I have a thing. I love people smarter than me just because it stimulates, or people trying to be smarter than me because they're going to push you.
And you can learn.
And I love that. That's the biggest thing, Hantie. I can learn.
Sure.
There's a new skill set you can learn. There's something that they can teach you. But what happens a lot of times is people think they're legends in their own mind. I'm going to tell you something. You didn't have me even listen to me. But because you're a legend in your own mind, you're gonna see what legends do.
Mhm.
And you're not legendary. I've been around legendary people. But anyway, other parting thoughts before we leave about leaders. I think this is a great discussion. Hopefully, someone paid attention to this. I guarantee you, if you do half the stuff we're saying, you're going to transform stuff.
Whether it's my thing here is whether you're a leader or a follower,
Hmm.
be the best that there is.
Hmm.
That would be my take.
Yeah. Well, with that in mind, there, folk. Um, Today, if you happen to be a leader,
Mm-hmm.
without a vision, the people will perish.
Mhm.
And we'll start there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have integrity. Something that's a lost art now. Don't go with the pressure. Go
Mhm.
with the vision. Go with what the plan that you have. Know how to adjust too, because you got to know when you're wrong.
There you go.
Bad leaders don't ever know. They never switch gears. They never recognize when they're wrong. They'll just keep doing the same thing and hoping something better happens. And
Mhm.
you end in a cluster after that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, folk, with that in mind, we'll hope that today we'll get some good leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I think that this was a great discussion. You guys bring a plethora of experience because you worked with a lot of great people, but you also work with many more bad people.
Mhm.
And that's why we're in the mess we're in today, because bad people, when they're running amok, they're your out pattern is really, really difficult.
Mhm.
Anyway, till next time, we'll see you on Mom and Dad Talks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.